Been reading a book lately. It's Wallace D. Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich. This happens to be his trilogy, where he had kind of three books he put together. I find it quite interesting, his take on what is the purpose of life. And one of the things he talks about in this book is you can't reach your fullest potential unless you have the resources to become that fullest potential. So I kind of look back in time around all the great artists, the great composers, and then to modern day people like Elon Musk, who's changing the world through his ideas. And all of these people have one thing really in common. They found a way to fund all of the things that they created. Michelangelo wouldn't be able to have done all the things he done without the donors of the rich, of the kings and the royalty. And Elon wouldn't have been able to create SpaceX and Tesla without his initial work within PayPal's. So I find it interesting that Wallace D. Wattles kind of focuses on this. And I wanted to read to you guys chapter 1, The Right to be Rich. It's only 3 pages, so it won't take long. Yeah, really? Yeah. The right to be rich. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains that it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. No man can rise to the greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and to develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have those things unless he has the money to buy them with. A man develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of the things. Society is so organized that a man must have money in order to become the possessor of things. Therefore, the basis of all achievement for man must be the science of getting rich. The object of all life development and everything that lives has an unalienable right to all the development it is capable of attaining. Man's right to life means his right to have the free and unrestricted use of all of the things which may be necessary to his fulfillment, mental, spiritual, and physical unfoldment. Or, in other words, his highest right to be rich. In this book, I shall not speak of riches in the figurative way. To be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or content with a little. No man ought to be satisfied with a little if he is capable of using and enjoying more. The purpose of nature is the advancement and unfoldment of life, and every man should have all he can to contribute to this power, elegance, beauty, and richness of life. To be content with less is a sin. And I believe he's using the original Aramaic version of sin, which is an archery term, which means to miss the mark. The man who owes all he wants for the living of life he is capable of living is rich, and no man who has not plenty of money can have all he wants. Life has advanced so far and become so complex that even the most ordinary man or woman requires a great amount of wealth in order to live in a manner even approaches completeness. Every person naturally wants to become all that they are capable of becoming, and this desire to realize innate possibilities is inherent in the human nature. We cannot help wanting to be all that we can be. Success in life is becoming what you want to be, and you can become what you want to be only by making use of things. And you can have the free use of those things only by becoming rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. There is nothing wrong in wanting to be rich. The desire for riches is really the desire for a richer, fuller, and more abundant life, and the desire is praiseworthy. The man who does not desire to live more abundantly is abnormal, and the man who does not desire to have more money enough to buy all that he wants is abnormal. There are three motives for which we live. We live for the body, we live for the mind, and we live for the soul. No one of these is better or holier than the other. All are alike desire, and no one of the three, body, mind, or soul, can live fully if either of the others is cut short of a full life and expression. It is not right or noble to only live for the soul and deny the mind and the body. It is wrong to live for the intellect and deny the body or the soul. We are all acquainted with the loathsome consequences of living for the body and denying both the mind and the soul. And we see that real life means the complete expression of all that man can give forth through the body, mind, and soul. Whether he can say no man can be really happy or satisfied unless the body is living fully in every function, and unless the same is true of his mind and his soul. Whether there is unexpressed possibility, or function not performed, there is unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression, or function seeking performance. Man cannot live fully in body without good food, comfortable clothing, and warm shelter, and without freedom of excessive toil. Rest and recreation are also necessary to the physical life. He cannot live fully in the mind without books and the time to study them, without opportunity for travel and observation, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind, he must have intellectual recreations, and must surround himself with all the objects of art and beauty he is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, man must have love, and love is denied expression by poverty. A man's highest happiness is found in the bestowal of benefits on those he loves. Love finds its most natural and spontaneous expression in giving. The man who has nothing to give cannot fill his place as a husband or a father, as a citizen or as a man. It is these used material things that a man finds full life for his body, develops his mind, and unfolds his soul. It is therefore supreme importance to him that he should be rich. It is perfectly right that you should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or woman, you cannot help doing so. It is perfectly right that you should give your best attention to the science of getting rich, for it is the noblest and most necessary of all studies. If you neglect this study, you are derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and humanity. For you can render to God or humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. So that was chapter 1. Pretty fascinating read of a book. I agree on most of his points in the fact that without resources, you can't create what is in your head. And if you're not creating what you were put here to do, then the world is less. There's a saying, the grave is the richest place on earth. And that's said because so many people do not fulfill their purpose. They take their ideas and never turn them into physical manifestation in this world. So we need resources, and this book's all about that. Hope you guys enjoyed the reading. If you'd like to learn more, I'll probably do some more sessions on this. And we'll see you guys later. Yeah. Boop, boop.